Hello everyone, it's Ryan here from Not Real Music, and I have another interview today I've only done one so far, but today I am with Push to Talk, an American electronic band who also play around with jazz. I have reviewed them earlier on in 2018 with their Dark Circles album, thought it was very good, and they were pretty cool enough to come on here and do an interview. And that is pretty cool to me because I don't do many of these, so when I get the opportunity to do them, I am pretty excited. So, hello everyone. Do you want to introduce yourselves?
Sure, I'll go
Yeah,
first.
I'm Trevor Stanka.
Joey here, Joey Stanka.
Hey, I'm Liam Jagrowski, and
Nice.
we're Push to Talk.
Yes, you are indeed. So, how's the reception to your album been so far, guys?
I guess I'll take this one since I've done most of like pushing it to blogs
Yeah.
and stuff. It's actually pretty tough to get feedback and to get people to pick it up. But from the people we have had pick it up, and thankfully
Mm-hmm.
you were the first one to pick it up. It's been pretty positive overall. We've been pretty happy
Yeah,
with it so far.
everyone that I've heard listen to it said they really enjoyed it, so
Yeah.
it's just a matter of getting it out there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it must be pretty hard when you're small, I guess. It's well, obviously I wouldn't know that because I don't make music, but like I imagine just in those early days, it's really tough. But considering like I don't know, I just think considering how small you are and how like impressed I was with the album, it is a shame that you're not quite as big yet. But I'm hoping that within maybe in a couple of years you start growing a good fan base. I'm hoping that happens anyway. Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Do you guys
Yeah.
do you plan on touring or anything?
It is a little bit
Probably not at
difficult
this
for us to
moment, just because
tour
we're
because our
all
songs are a
three of
little
us
bit
are
more
at three different
complicated.
schools in
Joey,
two
you have
different
more to add to
states
that?
here in the U.S., so a little bit hard at this moment.
Say again, sorry.
What's it?
All three of us were in three different schools in two
Okay.
different states, so it's a little bit hard right now.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's totally fair. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing in it when you've got like yeah, with that situation it's quite difficult, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I think we really wish we could be touring. It would be really, really nice and really fun, but we would probably need to pick up two or three more musicians, and we'd obviously need to all be in the same place to do it. It's just so I think we'd like to. It's just not really a possibility
mhm,
at the moment.
yeah. So what's like the sort of plan? Because like you're obviously all in school, so like is your main focus going to be like, okay, we're gonna go for this as a music career, this is what our aspirations are going to be, or is this more of like for now we're okay with doing this as like um alongside doing other things, like what do you think?
I think right now we kind of pushed it to the side. Last summer it was definitely a priority. We were working on this basically. We all worked at the same place, so we'd work at the store we worked at in the day, and then we'd come back to our basement during the night, and we'd work
Yeah.
on it pretty hard. So with school and everything, I think we're all pretty content just to push it to the side for now. We just drop something
Yeah.
big and possibility of something in the
Yeah,
future.
that's totally cool.
It just takes a lot of time and energy. It was probably like 300 hours on just the writing and
Right.
recording.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you don't have that much time to spare, especially working in different
yeah.
places and all, and that's not even to mention like all the time Joey spent mixing it and mastering it. So it's just hard to work if we're not all in the same place and we're not all busy. So we're not really sure going
No,
forward,
no,
to be
that's
honest with
totally
you.
understandable. I mean, and to be fair, like I don't know. To me, that's just really impressive that like you spent all that time on an album and you've got school at the same time and you all live in different places. That's got to be something that's worth praising. I mean, I don't know how many bands do this kind of thing, but just hearing about that is pretty impressive to me anyway.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that, and we're glad people have
Yeah,
received
no,
it
for
well
sure,
too.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
hopefully, more and more people get around to listening to it, because it is a pretty good for electronic music. As electronic music is kind of growing, I guess as well. I wanted to ask, well, not growing, but it's been big for a long time. But like, I suppose as like we sort of get further and further into the future, it is kind of becoming more and more of like the trend in music. So I guess, are there any like sort of big electronic acts that you guys aspire like to be like, or take inspiration from?
Definitely, I know Liam and I are big fans of Burial.
Okay, yeah.
So, so that's probably the biggest one. Especially, I was listening to that a lot while I was working on the post production for this album.
Okay.
So,
Okay, nice. Yeah.
yeah. So,
It's gonna depend on all of this. So for me,
Yeah.
definitely Burial. I probably have listened to the Untrue album like 50 times this last semester.
Yeah, that's
And,
that
but
was amazing. Yeah.
but it's just all the time. Like every day, it's like I could listen to something new, or I could listen to Untrue again, and guess which one happens. So
Yeah, for
but-
me, I definitely pulled a lot from Alt J. I listen to probably This Is All For You
Oh, yeah.
a lot every week. So that's probably my source
Yeah,
of inspiration.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like those albums actually. Yeah, a lot. Burial's Untrue actually. I've always loved it, but when I picked it up on vinyl and played it on vinyl, I think I began to appreciate all those little details so much more. It was kind of crazy. Yeah.
it's great, and yeah, definitely mixing wise, like because Joey will mix and we'll give him input on the mixing. So I don't think any of us had heard Untrue during the making of the album, but like that sort of dark atmospheric tone, I started hearing it more and more as the mixes went on, from round 1 to round 2, and it started sounding more and more dark. So I could definitely hear that in the mixing, and then for the compositions,
yeah,
it depends
because
on all of it. So
kind of funny that you realized that actually, because as the semester went on, I was listening to a lot more like Antlers, FKA Twigs, just a lot more ambient, atmospheric sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
But for inspirations in the composition, I think we pulled a lot from music that doesn't really fit a genre. So we like, at least for me personally, it's probably going to be a little different for the other two, but I would say like big influences on me are
yeah.
Bad Bad Not Good, which you mentioned, and Radiohead, which you mentioned too. Battles, and then I really like that dark atmospheric thing. So some of Swan's
Yeah.
music, I would say,
yeah, definitely.
just how everything sounds huge and spacey. So I don't know about the other two though. What about you guys?
That really hit up all the the good spots there, so I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, for me, I'd say really just add Snarky Puppy to the list for me.
Okay. So what was that else I was gonna say? So we've just had like 2017. What like sort of albums of the year do you guys have? I guess so we make it easy. I suppose I'll start with Liam. Go with Liam. What were your albums of the year, Liam?
Albums of 2017. I need to pull up a list here because there's so many records. Oh, okay. So, Damn was really good. The Big Fish Theory was really interesting. What else? Process was probably my favorite album of the year by Sampha. The King Cruel album was good. Probably, and then of course the Brockhampton. Probably the third one was my favorite, but all three of those were pretty good.
They were all great albums, to be fair.
Yeah, I'd probably have to say Process was my favorite album of last year.
Trevor, do you want to go through yours?
I'm gonna be honest. Last year, I didn't listen to too much music. I listened to a little bit of Damn, so I'd put that probably at my number one. One of my friends got me listening to T Swizzle, Taylor Swift, but so I'll throw that on the list too.
Nice. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. You heard it here, guys. Taylor Swift was the influence for Push to Talk's music. No. And Joey, go on with yours.
I mean, favorite album, I'd probably have to pick two. Probably Big Fish Theory, just because the production behind it was really interesting and different. And then Big Crit, Forever's a Mighty Long Time.
Oh yeah.
I was really digging that album. Yeah.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, I did like that album. I just thought maybe there were a few tracks across the thing that just didn't really click with me as much. But then I should really see it as like, oh, it was a double album, so the fact that he was able to keep the quality up for the majority of the album is pretty like impressive. Because
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
For a double, it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And considering as well, like most albums, you know, in hip hop, like do come out and there were a lot of like throwaway tracks, but like he did manage to like keep it all really well in those albums. So yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
So yeah, what else do I want to ask? That is on me at the moment. What do I want to ask? So you talked about Radiohead. I guess we could go with like each individual's like favorite Radiohead album. Like I guess we could do that. Anyone want to go with their favorite albums by Radiohead?
In Rainbows.
Yes.
In Rainbows.
I'd say, I'd have to go OK Computer or In Rainbows.
For me, it's always been OK Computer. So. Yeah.
We're the variety gang.
But like, how do you pick one?
Yeah, they're all. I mean, they're all completely different too. So.
Yeah, for sure. I guess you just kind of depends on replay value, I suppose, for Radiohead, because they're all kind of like amazing in their own way. So I guess it's like, oh, which one do you go back to the most? And for me, it's always been In Rainbows. I guess I go back to that one the most. So I've always seen that as my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But Kid A as well. Kid A's pretty great. But I think it's pretty obvious at this point that Kid A is the great album by Radiohead.
Kid A, that's their probably most experimental, but yeah, for me, I always thought the best made one was In Rainbows. Kid A's probably a second, and then I always thought A Moon-Shaped Pool was kind of underrated. I always really liked that album. It's a lot of fun to listen to with good headphones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that one is a really good one actually. Yeah. So what is like the plan for 2018 then? I guess are you sort of see how things go, maybe see if you can find some time to make more music, or is there no plan at the moment?
Well, right now it's a little bit difficult to get a plan running. We're kind of in breathe time right now. We were all working really hard last semester. Joey was mixing a lot, and then we went into mastering, and we were always listening to these mixes. So we're definitely taking a breather. We can't actually commit to any plan that we have at the moment, but there is a possibility of Push to Talk coming back out in the future.
Okay.
I think it's kind of like we mentioned. We'd love to. We just don't really know. Like realistically, the only real time we can write is during the summer when we're all here. And so we don't know what our summers look like, if there's going to be, internships or work or how that's all going to go. So I think we'd love to, but I don't know one way or another.
Yeah, that's totally understandable, I guess. It's, as you said, it's very difficult to kind of get the time. So what's sort of like the plan individually? Are you all kind of like looking to go to like college, university, or whatever? I don't know the difference in America. It's all confusing.
So all three of us are actually in university right now. So Liam and I are in university in Georgia. We're in two separate universities in Georgia, but we each go. I'm at Kennesaw State University, and he goes to Georgia State University, and Joey goes to University in New Haven, all the way up in Connecticut. It's like a 16-hour drive, Joey.
Yeah, 16, 17.
That is so fast, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty far away.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I think you Englishmen don't always remember how America's just like, and even Americans don't remember how big America is. It's
That's
crazy.
insane. I don't even know how far it is to go from one end of Britain to the other end of Britain, but I'm sure that isn't far off. Like, Jesus Christ.
Isn't Newcastle to London like 3
Say that again,
hours
sir?
maybe? Newcastle to London is like 3 hours, isn't it?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, if you drive 3 hours here, you're not even out of the state
I
most
just
of the
forget
time.
that sometimes because it's so big.
If you drive 3 hours in Texas, you're not even out of your driveway. Yeah. So yeah, we're all going to. There is no difference in the United States between college and university. Actually, no. Universities have graduate schools, but they're basically used interchangeably. But yeah, we're all going to school right now, and we're all I'm in my first year. Trevor's in his first year, and Joey's in his second year.
Yeah.
So we're all early on,
Yeah.
4 years.
Now, I guess with the university college thing, I think it's. I used to watch like Community a lot, the TV show Community. So that's like community college. So I was always just like, okay, this obviously isn't how colleges usually are. But I was just like, it's called college, but it's like they still get the same sort of qualifications. I don't even know.
Yeah, I love that show.
That show is amazing. So yeah.
Yeah, it's so it's a little bit more formal than what they do in Community, and a lot bigger.
So I'm trying to like diminish all your like studies as to like oh yeah, just a blow off sort of thing.
It depends on the school too, because I mean, I mentioned some schools are kind of, you know. I don't know.
So yeah, think of more questions, Ryan. Come on. Any sort of like I guess like any sort of dream collaborations. I know you've talked about your like influences and inspirations, but would you ever sort of like love to like sort of work with another artist, or maybe even like go like on a bit of a tour with any other artists, anything like that?
I'd say for me personally, some of my friends from high school, they kind of have a surfer rock band right now that's they're planning actually a tour countrywide, which is pretty interesting, and I'm really happy for them. But they're also right out of high school. They're Liam and I's age, and it'd be really cool to do a tour with them, because I know they can really fill venues, and it'd be really interesting to see what it'd be like touring with them. They're called
Lunar Vacation. They're out
Joey,
of
what are they
Atlanta,
called?
Georgia.
Lunar Vacation.
Yeah.
Okay, give them a check. I might try them out. Yeah.
If we're talking about dream collaborations, like anybody in music, I'd probably say Justin Vernon, or James Blake maybe, because everything they touch is like good. every project that they've been on, or every song, it always comes out well. So, yeah, Bon Iver's big influence of mine too. So
Yeah,
probably Justin Vernon.
collaboration with Gorillaz would be really cool as well.
I hear they're putting out an album again this year, so give it a try. See what you can do.
Oh, that's crazy.
Also, I guess as well, are there any sort of like individual projects you've all kind of got going? Any sort of aspirations in that field, like sort of branching away, doing your own thing that might be different to what you do with Push to Talk?
Yeah, actually, I'm in a band at school here in Connecticut called Crystal Clear. So it's pretty much completely different than Push to Talk. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, that's cool. What genre is that?
Pop.
Oh, okay. That sounds cool.
Mainly, if I were to do, or if I do something different, it's pretty much on my own, and it's just kind of doodling on a keyboard. It's nothing I would release or anything. I wouldn't even call it a project.
I always get kind of burned out from like working on Push to Talk for a long time, so I've like barely done anything in the past couple months, honestly. But I don't know. I know a couple singers. I may do something in the future, but I don't have any hard plans right now. I suppose.
Yeah, that's cool. That's all cool. Any sort of anticipated albums for the year for anyone?
I don't know what's coming out. I really want that Madlib and Freddie.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I just
Yeah.
anything Madlib puts out,
Yeah.
I just want it. So definitely, I think it's called Bandana. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
real or not, but I've heard about it. So probably that one. And then if the Gorillaz album is a step up in quality, that's like a careful
Yeah.
anticipation. You never
No,
really
no.
know. Because Humans was a little,
Yeah.
I don't know about that. so.
Humans was a massive letdown. I only took away a few songs, but hopefully they do something a bit more exciting on the next one. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Any other anticipated albums, or is that pretty much it? Excellent. So we got 2-3 albums for the year. No, yeah, Freddie Gibbs Madlib, I guess. I don't know if that is true. I keep seeing a lot, so I don't see why it would just come out of nowhere. So I hope it is definitely going to be something, but I don't think there's any confirmation just yet, but I really hope for it.
Yeah. I haven't gotten around to reading any of those like anticipated albums articles or any videos, so I actually don't know what I'm supposed to be anticipating yet. But I'm sure if I read one of those articles, I'd have a couple more to throw in there. But yeah, another Barry album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first one since
No.
2007. No, that'll never happen.
What is the deal with Burial? Like, what did he just decide he didn't want to do albums anymore? Because I know like there's EPs and stuff like that drop every now and then. Does anyone know about that? Or
I just wonder if he
Yeah.
felt like he couldn't top Untrue. Like, cause it's just such a classic and it's so well loved by critics and listeners. Like I don't know if I ever made something as good as Untrue, then I would probably be
yeah.
worried about following it up too. I really don't know.
No.
He doesn't do a lot of interviews, so it's hard to tell.
What for my channel?
What's your plans for your channel? Yeah.
I guess I'm just gonna kind of keep doing what I do. Hopefully it catches on. Some people, hopefully eventually, like a lot more people find me interesting. And yeah, definitely aiming to do a lot of interviews this year, like with you guys and stuff. So yeah, hopefully like I've already done one, as I said, and obviously you guys. So hopefully more of these come along, because this is pretty fun to do and it's quite different as well. So hopefully I get more of this.
Yeah, definitely with
That'd be pretty cool.
like smaller artists like us, we really appreciate it. So it's cool that you're doing it.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, absolutely, man. I always like to put exposure onto the smaller guys because it's always worth it, and it adds to the music conversation. Because a lot of this, like music from you guys and other artists, go quite overlooked, don't they? So it's a shame, but yeah, it's always worth talking about.
I always like reaching out to smaller publications and reviewers too, because you're much more likely to get somebody
Yeah.
to talk to you or tell you the time of day.
No.
You know, if you reach out to Pitchfork, they're just gonna delete the email. But with somebody like you, it's like we can do cool stuff like this, and it's
Yeah,
just
exactly.
mutually beneficial. So we really like this kind of thing
No,
too.
That's cool. I'm glad you guys were free for this because it's been pretty good. Yeah. So I guess that's pretty much it. So yeah, do you guys want to sort of advertise where you can find the music from your Bandcamp and stuff like that, or?
Yes, we're on everywhere you listen to music. We're Push to Talk. The album is Dark Circles. You can find us on Bandcamp, where you can stream the whole album for free. Pushtotalk.bandcamp.com. And again, we're on Spotify or Apple or wherever else you listen to music.
And yeah, and whoever's listening, make sure you go check them out because they are pretty interesting, and I hope you enjoy the music that they make. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you guys for this interview, and yeah, goodbye.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ryan.
Yeah, it's okay.
Thanks
Thank you
so
for
much,
having
Ryan.
us.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, take care.